In the beginning, God created, not in the beginning, God manufactured. Therefore, we all creative aspects of that which created us. We can do this by allowing the arts. The word was created. That's an art form. Let us use it to unite the people. I look at concrete buildings and concrete cities, and you walk around and you'll see all of a sudden one day, you notice through the cracks of the concrete, a braid of grass will be growing up. Mother Earth is pushing her way through. So all of this is temporary, but the art of life is forever. It inspires us. It tantalizes that art within us, and we have to express it in some way.
Hello, dear ones. How are you feeling? I can share that I am heartbroken as global events unfold this week. And like many of you, I am questioning the culture we live in and moving through shock, grief, and disbelief. I have found the words shared in this episode to be powerful to listen to. And I also want to share with you some words of Jaya John, who will be a guest later in this series. He says, "Perhaps your greatest challenge each day is not to stand up against the forces of oppression, but to resist the ever-encroaching tendency to feel that you are too small to stop the forces of oppression. Remember, if your soul and its actions are sourced from love and from your ancestors of kindred spirit, not only are you not small, you are immense infinity. When you are rooted in the sanctity of collective life and liberation, your soul size is legendary." As for All That We Are news, we have events, retreats, and courses coming up, including Soul Space on the theme of anchoring our gifts, a live online journey to reclaim your intuition, our Remembering in-person retreat, and our in-person Devon weekend. You can find all the details of these on the events page of our website if you go to allthatweare.org. My guest today is Ben Vereen, who is an award-winning actor, dancer, and singer. His legendary performances transcend time and have been woven into the fabric of America's artistic legacy. His first love and passion is and always will be the stage. He shares, "The theatre was my first training ground. It taught me discipline, dedication, and appreciation of hard work and values that will stay with me for a lifetime. The stage sharpens the creative instrument and encourages you to go deeper inside and try new things." Ben won a Tony Award for Pippin, starred in such musicals as Jesus Christ Superstar, Fosse, Hair Jelly's Last Jam, Chicago, and Wicked, to name a few, and is remembered for films like Sweet Charity, All That Jazz, as well as the Emmy-winning role of Chicken George in the iconic Roots. Ben continues to tour the world with his concert act, motivational lectures, and masterclasses. In this episode entitled The Art of Life, we explore the themes of creative expression, stillness, and human connection as we speak to the question, how do we tantalise our spiritual paths to flourish a creative, equitable, and harmonious future? I hope that this sermon speaks directly to your heart, to all that you are, and sparks the shining light in you. Welcome to All That We Are, with me, your host, Amisha Gadiali. On this show, we explore the weave between activism, the sacred, creativity, and regeneration, the spaces where our inner and outer worlds dance. From healing trauma to nature connection, to new technologies to ancient wisdom, it's time for us to move beyond silos and into an integrated way of being. Every one of us has ideas and personal experiences to share that can lead us to a more beautiful future. Despite the challenges we face as a global community, or the pressures we meet in our daily lives, when we stop and dare to listen, to ask ourselves the big questions, and to share what we are already doing and envisioning, we create the futures of our wildest dreams. And we begin to embody all that we are becoming, and all that is possible. It is a delight, Ben, to welcome you to All That We Are. Thank you for being here and coming to share with us.
All that we are. It's wonderful to be here.
What's alive for you when I ask you, what are the futures of your wildest dreams?
World peace, the domination of the understanding of the concept of love, which is totally misunderstood and has been bastardized and prostituted and religionized and you name it. But my one is that we come to realization of the simpleness of the value as a world of loving one another. I came up during a time of the 60s, during a time of Vietnam War, protesting against the system for civil rights, for all people, hippie movement, Black Panthers, the rise of the left and the right. It was a turmoil. But the thrust of the movement supposedly was the importance of love. You know, we were called love children or flower children. That was one terminology. But it never happened. At least in my view, it never happened. All those who were protesting and wanting to change ran into the system and recreated something even worse that we're living through right now. That's why we had a thing called a pandemic. That should have never happened. But it was part of the agenda that I feel that is beyond our control as human citizens of this planet. Certain things happen that we, in our humanness, are against, but there are powers, that word power, that have control over our humanness and causes a lot of things to happen, such as wars and rumors of wars and that sort of thing, you know. Why do those things happen? In a planet that you tell me on a daily basis that God is love, that, you know, every religion says that God is love, and we have various churches and temples and mosques and that people worship in. They worship a God of love, then they go out and they cause war. It makes no sense to me. Are we hypocrites? I ponder with that, and in my age now, as I'm watching this whole scope of things and the languages and the disrespect and the distancing of people that society is causing. It's not causing a unity, it's causing a divide. And we were talking about that even in Bali, you know, colonialism. Once again, are we so addicted to greed that we don't see the beauty therein, which is ourselves, our lives, and the lives of everybody? There's enough on this planet. God knows there's enough, or Allah knows there's enough, or Buddha knows there's enough for everybody. There should not be starvation on this planet. There should not be homelessness on this planet. There's enough for everybody. Everybody. But there are those who are in power who choose to be in control. And they are blind to the fact that their power means nothing. They're just like the person that they're suppressing. They too will suppress. Their lives are going to end like their lives are going to end. Well, while I'm here, I'm going to have that Rolls Royce and you can have the tricycle. What is with that? You know, I'm going to have this, I want to control the drug cartel and get all the people sick so I have control over them. What is with that? They didn't ask for that. We're born into a planet. They're born and we come from a divine energy. We call it God, Allah, Buddha. We come here and we come into this planet in a loving state of mind, and then it's corrupted. When we call it education. You know, I call it edumacation instead of enlightenment. You had schools of enlightenment. I think I'd like to believe that things were better. But you ask me, how do I see the world and what if I had my choice? There would be no hunger. There'd be no homelessness. There'd be no wars and rumors of wars. There'd only be love. There'd be understanding. There'd be patience. There'd be kindness towards one another. Kindness without it being corrupted or filtered with games of power. I'm tired of seeing people being led to slaughter like lambs. And we go, I look at the Holocaust, I look at my Black Holocaust, and I go, why did this happen? Why did these things happen continuously throughout history? And yet still they say God is all powerful. And if God is all powerful, and you believe in that God, why does that God stop this? That's because man, as I said the other day, has made God in his image, except accepting the fact that God created us. Allah, Buddha, Jesus, Elohim, Yahweh, Jane, created us. Krishna created us in this image, or their image. And we're to be divinely ordered to fulfill that heavenly existence upon this planet. Not die to go to heaven, but bring heaven to earth. But we're busy killing people and sending them to a place they call heaven. And if heaven is what I see they talk about, I don't want to go. Excuse me, I'll skip to the next planet. You know, because of all the people who've caused all this here in heaven, we have a chance to turn it all around. But it begins with the children. And right now, technology, which was created by man, is separating humans from themselves. I go to ceremonies here in Bali, and I see ceremonies where the ancestors are dancing for the gods, elderly. And you see a kid on a cell phone. Instead of being involved in absorbing his culture, it's on a cell phone. You go to dinner, and you're a fine-looking woman. Let's go to dinner. I sit there at dinner with you instead of talking to you. I'm on a cell phone. You're on a cell phone. I watch this, and I go like, where is the human connection between people? Matter of fact, I had a conference, a visitor last night. This person came to me because they felt this deep spiritual connection with me. And because I gave a prayer at the opening of this ceremony, so they felt it. And they wanted to talk to me about it. And the phone kept ringing, and I found myself on the phone. And I wrote them. I woke up in the middle of the night and said, I wasn't present. Well, where was I? I was distracted by a human device created by humans instead of being within the spirit, which that person needed. So I apologized. And I said, given permission, I will be present. We do that. I go to these temples and I see priests on the cell phone. I was talking to a lady just now who wants to go to this waterfall. I went to that waterfall and I'm standing there and I'm getting in it and it's doing ceremonies around me. And I open my eyes and they're on a cell phone. Instead of paying attention to what the spirit was doing for me. Now the spirit goes, oh, you go to the cell phone. Okay, I'll go to watch on the cell phone. Instead of dealing with the human who's looking for spiritual cleansing, which you're supposed to be the director of, but you're not paying attention because you're too wrapped up in technology. So technology has teched us out. So that's all I got to say.
There was one that I saw the other day as the ogos, which are like the created to be like the evil spirits that will then like attract the evil spirits, and then they burn them here. And
yes.
But I went to go see them, and everybody was videoing them. I felt, well, I don't want to take a picture of them because they're meant to be made, do their work, and burnt. They're not meant to be kept as imprints.
Yes.
And so, as well as the distraction of us not connecting, and also the distraction of you're there experiencing something and everyone's taking pictures of it rather than fully absorbing it. And then what are we doing with all of that? We all have these phones just full of all this data, and I heard it takes the same amount of energy to like post something online as it does to boil a kettle, and then how much we ping each other. I do it too.
Yeah, because we've been conditioned.
And I've also noticed that often when there's disconnects in relationships, it's normally because of texting rather than actually there being an issue with the two people or whatever might have just happened. But it's two people then sat in rooms in other parts of the world or whatever, or even in the same building, but texting and therefore not knowing the state that the other one is in and the state that someone is in as they read the messages, and then how they can get misunderstood. And then suddenly we're creating all of these problems.
I'm just guilty. Yesterday was a silent day, and I found myself, I said, when I prayed a prayer, and I told myself, we must take away devices and be away from the devices. I found myself on my device. So what is going on? What is this? It's like, where is that coming from? I've got to deprogram myself from these devices so that I can be within the real of the existence of the nothingness from which everything comes. And until I get there, the blessings that are in store for me and everyone else will never be able to manifest itself because I'm wrapped up in the technology of the conditioning that is being done to me on a daily basis. We are daily being fed this. Now we got a choice. Choose ye this day whom you will serve. Will it be man or will it be spirit? Most of us are wrapped up in technology, so obviously it is man. We got to put that away, put down the device. So I said, it's a reality. In the humanness, it's a reality. We got to deal with it. But the one good thing about the pandemic, it made everybody stop. Yeah, we still had our devices, but we couldn't go out of houses. We had to sit around. Yeah, people were dying. It was terrible. All that's always terrible, terrible. But check out the good part. Animals came back into the city. The sea got cleaned up. The fishes were back in the sea. Birds are coming around going, wow, I can breathe again. As soon as it was over, okay, let's go back to business as usual. Yeah? We need to do that for ourselves on a daily basis. That's what I love about Bali. And I came here to do that yesterday. I'm not even doing it. So I've got to do it for myself where, there's a place here called, there's a silent retreat. And you go in and they have a locker. It's called cell phone jail. And you put your cell phone in there and lock it up. And it's supposed to be just you. But then I found people who were after the evening was over, they'd get the cell phone, find out what's going on today. Wouldn't it be nice just to put the cell phone away for a day? A day. Let's do it for a day. Now I gotta, they may need me, but what about you needing you? What God needing you? Allah, Buddha, Krishna needs you to be still. It's like you're saying, taking pictures of the burning. We're supposed to be burning negativity instead of we're photographing negativity. So that negativity we're watching being burned is now infiltrating itself, reliving itself through the photograph as we're looking at it. Check that out. So we don't really burn negativity, do we? Because we never let it go. We're too busy watching it on cell phones and in photographs. See what I got in some TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Wow, look at this. So people around the world are looking on Facebook and negativity saying, I got you, I got you, I got you. You thought I was gone. No, I got you, I got you. Because you did not let me go. Let it go and be free. There's so much in the moment. It's so beautiful. Whew. When the Almighty speaks in our lives, in the stillness, be still and know. Be still. Not take a photograph of being still, but be still in the moment of the now and allow me to be your voice. And before we began this podcast, you said, let's meditate, let's bring, ask the divine in, da. So, okay, that's wonderful. But the divine is already here. It just wants to be recognized. That's what we do when we say, okay, let's close our eyes and recognize the divine, let the divine speak through us. And I'm hoping that's what we're doing so that those who are listening will feel the energy of the truth that is coming from our voices. It's not the words, it's the vibration. The words we use are just languages, but behind the language is the feeling. And behind the feeling, promoting the feeling, promoting the language is spirit, which has no language at all. It just is, you know. To be in that space. That's why people leave society, become monks, become, spiritual seekers, and go away from society and leave everything behind because they're looking for that stillness. Something is calling them greater. Even during that whole acid trip in the 60s, people like Ram Dass, he was, doing acid, dropping acid. Finally, one day he said, I can't get high enough. And then he met a guru, changed his life. At some point, there comes a time we say, okay, enough is enough. I can't do it on my own. And then the universe sends you a voice. And you'll sit there in the voice and take a photo or Instagram or or whatever we do with these devices. You just be in the moment. It is true. And it begins to infiltrate your existence. And you can go on. But have we forgotten about that sheer pureness? Has that become unfashionable? Has it? I hope not. I hope not for the next generation. I'm watching this as an elder. And I'm seeing this. I'm watching little children with their cell phones and attachments that make it work for them, which is wonderful and fine. But don't forget what created that was beyond the consciousness of man. It came to man, obviously, or woman, or humanity, from a thought. So obviously it's always been in the universe. Comes through and we've developed these technologies, it's always been here. And we as humans find a way to use it for our purpose. But do not forget whom it came from or what it came from. It wasn't created by man. No, man is the channel from which it comes through. Or human is the man, woman. It's the channel from which it comes through, and then it's developed, and then we use it, and then we make devices out of it, and then we begin to, that makes it easier for us to live on this planet, and we forget about the humans.
Well, and then someone comes in and says, how can we make as much money as possible out of this?
And then the humans get more caught up in greed. We begin to have levels, subhumans, lower humans, and it's been like this forever. Hierarchies. Why? If you truly people believe in a God, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, a higher entity than yourselves, then why do we allow this to continue to happen for us humans? Are we any better than the person who's sweeping the streets? Oh, they sweep the streets and I got a higher education. I'm much better than they are. You go to the bathroom, don't you? They go to the bathroom. You get sick, don't you? They get sick. We're all in this together. Let us find a way to work together to lift each other up to that higher ground. That's what we talk about. That's what we pray about. That's what, we build churches and synagogues and mosques to talk about. We're talking about a better place. I'm talking to brothers, well, I die, I'm going to have this, and God's going to give me this, God's going to give me that. Yo, you are here. God, bring heaven here. Why do I have to? I do a line in this movie I just did called Grey House. The line I wrote was, why do I have to die to be free? I got to die to be free? I got to die to have heaven? What? Then what was the point of the journey of the human? If I got to die to be free, if I got to die to have heaven on earth, to have heaven in heaven, milk and honey. I don't particularly like milk and honey. Come on, people. We got all these deities and representing that which is divine within us. But how much do we treat? It's so beautiful here in Bali. I first got to Bali. I don't mind saying it. I had a rough time because I was an alcoholic. I'd been alcoholic before. I'd gotten clean, but I lost my son, and that broke my heart. I started drinking again, pretty bad too. Bust my head open. My daughter sent me to Bali. She said, "Dad, you got to go to either rehab or Bali." So I said, "I'll go to Bali." Because if I've done rehab, it obviously didn't work. So let me try what's going on in Bali. Thinking I could get in Bali and continue drinking like I was. And I could. But I got off the plane. I drank from LA to Singapore. Drank on the plane. Give me another bottle. Give me another bottle. And then, stewards and stewardess, yeah, that's it. This guy's really... I go to Singapore, I go up to the VIP lounge, give me another drink. I go on the plane to Bali, I started drinking, give me another drink, and I couldn't get drunk. I go to the plane, I said, to a goon, my assistant, picks me up at the airport, I just met him. And I said, yeah, give me a bar, give me a liquor store. And I look, and I see there are no liquor stores on every corner. Now in America, there's a liquor store on every corner. 2, sometimes on the same block. I couldn't find one liquor store when I first got here. On the corners weren't liquor stores, there were altars. In the middle of the block, there was altars. In homes, there were temples. I'm looking around going, what is going on here? I see people giving offerings to the ground and to the sky. What is going on here? The Balinesians. And I'm going, what is this? People dressed in ceremony and kindness. What is going on? Then I got baptized. And I went, wow, what is this? Then they tell me these stories about, mythologies or whether, for them they believe whatever. It doesn't matter. To them, it's real. And that realness causes a community or a civilization of culture of kindness. And that changed my life. I'm not Balinesian, but I'm a human seeking kindness. My fear is that kindness will be snuffed out because of greed. So while we can, people, we better hurry up and keep as much as you can because it'll get dark in a minute. Hold on to your light.
Greed
Fight for your light.
and distraction.
Yeah. I mean, here was a pandemic. And they orchestrated a murder of a guy named George Floyd. And the world went ballistic. I wish the world would go ballistic for equality, for peace. Go ballistic. I'll never forget a picture of this one kid putting a flower inside of a barrel of a gun that a soldier was carrying. Peace. Let's go ballistic for that. For kindness. Don't you want that? Please, doesn't somebody want it other than me? Yeah, they're our children. Don't our children, aren't they worthy of it? We bring these babies into the world and then we give them this. We give them categories of inequality. You're better than them because you were born over here, or your color is a different skin because that person, that's color, they're not worthy, and this person was born over there, they're not worthy. You are better because like your skin is this color and that, and you live in this house and that. What? They work for you and what? Let's work together. Let us find a way to work together. And I may be just a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Maybe someday you'll join up. The world will be as one.
Yeah.
John Lennon said, imagine all the people living life as one. Not two, but one people for love. Anybody gonna stand up for love? Anybody? No, we'd rather be marched off to concentration camps and bombed and prisons and drugged, and we'd rather that than giving love and peace and kindness. We'd rather that. Why? Why? Diseases. In America, hospitalization, prices of being in the hospital. My God, people can't afford to get cancer or something. If you're a poor person, you can't afford it. The pharmaceuticals are out of control. Instead of saying, we have pharmaceuticals, we found the cure through medicine that will save all the people, we're going to give it to you. No, we got to make money off of that. Let's make money off of that. No, does that help you? Okay, that's going to cost you $16 million for that headache. That's a little pill. $16 million. You can afford it? No. Well, okay, next. What?
Yeah. And the truth is, if we had just good quality food,
we wouldn't need food. If we're taught, Dick Gregory said this, if we were taught how to live instead of how to make a living, things would be different. We'd know the quality of foods. We'd know the quality of good living. But no, we're too busy hustling. We're teaching our children, we send them to school to learn how to hustle, to learn how to make a living instead of how to live. So therefore, we have gangs, you have colors, you have all these things. I love here in Bali. Kids all dressed the same, go to school. They don't care much color, clothes you're wearing. No, it ain't about what you wear and stuff like that, how cool you are. No, it's about life. Territorial, this territory, it's all the same territory. That's just, we have this class system. And get rid of the class system and get the people. Then maybe the people say, okay, enough drugs, enough violence, let's live in peace. Maybe. Well, who am I? I'm just a dreamer. But I'm not the only one.
You mentioned the 60s and the hope of that time.
Yes.
How does it feel to see what's evolved both in consciousness? Like, I'm sure there's been a lot of things that are way more beautiful now, as well as the other directions that we've gone in, and to be in this place of war and destruction that we're in right now.
So we made progress, put a question mark. Things are different with a question mark. Or are they the same, just disguised as change? There's still wars and rumors of wars. There's still genocide going on right now.
That no one's allowed to talk about.
And nobody talks about it. There are religious leaders leading people to death. Nobody's talking about it.
And if you talk about it, you get cancelled, or you get shadow banned.
Yeah,
all that.
All this is going down, nobody's talking about it. So yes, there are change, but it's disguising what is really going on. Yes, there's technology, and yes, there's things are medically better, and people getting healed or whatever they call it. All that's great, but it's disguising what's really going on. And if it is changed, then give it to the people. Give it to them. It's theirs. That's why you invented it. But no, I got to have a Rolls Royce. I got to have a house on the hill. I got to, oh, please, no. I got to buy a yacht. I need a yacht to cruise around in for my friends. We can party on this yacht. And while we're driving, while we're cruising on our yacht, we see a family on the shore starving, need them hungry with the kids with their hands out. Give them a nickel a dime, give them a quarter of them. Instead of making their lives better. My spiritual mother, Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman, out of Chicago, she was diagnosed to die, and she was younger. And She found the church called the Unity Church, which talked about God within, that she didn't have to agree with it. The power of the mind, the power of God within you. And she came to Chicago and she built the first black mega church, African American these days, 5,000 African American people sitting in meditation. Blew my mind first time I saw it. Because I'm from the church, I'm from, Holiest Church and Baptist churches and churches of God in Christ. I'd never seen anything like this. A church of living, the church of learning, a church of higher consciousness. And Johnny would go by a homeless person and they'd be begging for money. She said, I'm not going to give you any money. But if you come to my church, I'll teach you how to make money. So you don't have to be out here begging. Come take the teachings of Jesus the Christ that I've learned that has helped me and helped millions of other people. Come learning rather than a handout, let me give you a hand up. That's too easy. That's too easy. There's not enough people saying, let me give you a hand up. Not a hand. I had a friend of mine who's a doctor, Dr. John Lamar Price. He was accused of raping this very wealthy woman in Hollywood when he was like 17 years old, 16 years old. They arrested him and put him in jail. He was going to serve a lifetime in jail. She was very wealthy. She investigated her rape and found out he didn't rape her. Years later, she goes back to the courts and pleads for him to get out. He gets out of jail. While he was in jail, he's interested in medicine. So she brings him to her house, her and his mother, he and his mother. And she says, I'm not going to give you money, but I'll give you an education. Any school you want to go to. He's now one of the top holistic doctors in America. And he said, I worked for the hospitals. And I noticed they were killing the people by giving them all this medicine. So I thought he carries his little laboratory around. It was so cute. Carries that laboratory to people's homes. And he heals them through foods, through holistic living, if they will listen. That's his charge. He stepped away from the system in order to improve the system. A person like myself, he'll look at me and he says, you're my elder. I got to save your life. I got to get you off those pharmaceuticals because they'll kill you. I'm not saying for most people, I'm not putting down. Some people, yeah, you need it. You do what you need to do. It's like Dick Gregory says, look, if I'm in a car accident, my leg is severed, he said, don't take me to a health food store. Take me to the hospital. It's true. That's life. You do what you need to do, but you don't have to be there forever. You get what you need fixed, and then you go back to the garden and let the garden heal your body. And we do need to learn how to live instead of how to make a living. And if we were taught that, maybe greed would have less of a chance in our society. But this is a dreamer's dream. But I'm not the only one. Yes.
How do we bring the dream more alive? I know that most people listening to this are dreamers.
By living the dream. That's how we bring them online. By living it and teaching our children. And it's going to be tough. Because you're fighting, you got technology. And the thing about it is, we just had a big fight over AI for the television industry, the actors. Because, we don't want the AIs to take over our images and we're not making any money on blah, blah, blah. And we created it to work for us instead of overtaking us. So children today are being born into a technical world. They must learn that they are the controllers of the technology, not the technology controls of them. So we teach them about their humanness. That seems like to be the charge of Big Brother, whoever that is, trying to wipe out the human and have the technology as work for us. So we don't have to pay these people anything. Let the machines do it. No, man. We created the machines. Don't let the machines take away our work, our occupations. And that's what's happening. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. All I have is my word and my prayers, my intent to change things for the good. If that's all I have as my sword and shield, then let me put on my sword and shield and go into battle for the good of all humanity. And through that, maybe one person will have a chance. And if I can do it for that one person, my life is not a vain.
Amen to that. Sometimes we get lost in the bigness of it all.
Easy.
And then forget that it's really in the small moments that we have so much power.
Easy. I first came to Bali and fell in love with the romance. Oh man, this is so cool. Wow, kindness. Oh, running around to various clubs and hanging with the people who weren't the Balinesians. We're going to various, like, what they call those dances they have. And,
the ecstatic dance.
Ecstatic dance, and hanging out at the yoga bar, which is a great place. You know, I'm not putting them down. But the people, the Balinesian people, who are the source of kindness. So this time I'm here and I'm looking at the division. And my prayer is that we close that gap. And I think the arts is the way to do it. In the beginning, God created. Not in the beginning, God manufactured. Therefore, we all creative aspects of that which created us. We can do this by allowing the arts. The word was created. That's an art form. Let us use it to unite the people, not to separate or degrade or to abolish or to eliminate, but to create a humanity of humanness that is harmonious and loving. And that's all I got to say.
Tell us about the power of the arts in your own life.
The arts have always been there. It's a spiritual thing. And it's expressed in various places. The art of living expresses itself through life itself. But we as humans use it in canvases to paint portraits and paintings, to dance, to express the feeling of spirit within us, to acting by using the words, art. Buildings, we look at a building and go, oh, that's an architect. Architect. The art of bringing something into business, into beingness. We look at things we do, cars, things we build, that all comes from a thought, which is inside of us an art. That thought, that creative thought is art. And it comes in many forms. We as humans choose to separate it from what the true form of it is. That amazes me that countries are, like in America, the first thing they cut is the art programs from schools. What? You mean you're cutting away their creativeness to be expressions of the Most High? I think human is jealous of the greater power. And therefore, if it tries its best to diminish it and eliminate it, but you can't. It's going to win out. It's like, look at braided glass. I look at concrete buildings and concrete cities, and you walk around and you'll see all of a sudden one day, you notice through the cracks of the concrete, a braid of grass will be growing up. Mother Earth is pushing her way through. So all of this is temporary, but the art of life is forever. It's forever. And you see it everywhere. Look how beautiful these trees are. Leaves. How beautiful the birds are that fly by and figures that they make dancing through the air. And then it comes inside of our bodies and we dance with it. We look and we see it outside. It inspires us. It tantalizes that art within us, and we have to express it in some way. And so we call it the performing arts. For me, that's what it's been. Performing. It allowed me to lift me up out of my space, what they call the ghetto, and carried me, my spirit, through the arts to be here today talking to you. And has allowed me to do wondrous things I never thought in my deepest dreams I'd ever do. I've met kings, queens, presidents. I've traveled to countries I never thought I'd see. I lived in Brooklyn. When they told me I was going to Manhattan, I thought I needed a passport. I thought Manhattan must have been in Europe. My whole world was Brooklyn. But the arts, that inner thing that's always inside of all of us, that spiritual thing has a destination to experience through our humanness its journey. We are not humans seeking a spiritual existence. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And that's the art.
Thank you for tuning in. If you are enjoying this episode, do join our membership. For a small contribution, you can be part of our community, where we deepen the conversation and offer spaces of learning and embodiment. As a member, you are a patron supporting the making of this show, keeping the episodes full length, free and accessible for all. And you receive a number of benefits, such as monthly soul space, going deeper sessions, access to our library of workshops, and discounts on all our online and in-person experiences. Our membership is what makes us able to make this show and stay advertising free in a world that is always trying to sell us stuff we don't need. Head to allthatweare.org/membership to find out more and join today. I want to talk about life's twists and turns, how little moments can change everything, and how we hold ourselves in those moments in order to get the lessons and the evolution that we need.
Be still and know I am God. In the stillness, when the storm is raging all around you, be still and know I am God. The I am is happening all the time. But the human mind has been programmed to distrust the truth of the I am within us in the stillness. I gotta be, my daughter calls me Speedy. Speed, slow down, Speedy. Because I gotta do it. Slow down, Speedy. Stop. Be still. Inhale. That's what we do. We learn in yoga and breathing breath classes. We learn to inhale, exhale. I say inhale peace. Exhale expectations. Why expectations? Because we expect peace. We expect harmony. We expect it instead of allowing it to be. And expecting something, we're looking for something and it's going, I'm right here, but we're too busy looking around it. Be still and know. Change is going to happen. Things are going to happen constantly. Those called moments in life and da-da-da-da. But be still and trust the stillness and the quiet moment. And be in that moment now. As Ram Dass would say, be here now. And let that be your truth. And then.
We're just taking a moment to feel that in the space where there's no need for words.
As I said, words get in the way sometimes. But it's the only form we have of communication. But sometimes no words are needed. because quietness speaks louder. Love comes in on tiptoes. It's a quiet thing. It's a quiet thing. Phew. It's a beautiful thing. In those moments of stillness and quietness, there's an art. That's an art form.
And what about with life's disappointments?
Lessons. Learn the lesson, or you're apt to repeat it. Graduate from life lessons and move on, or you're apt to repeat it.
And you and I both know that if you don't listen to the whispers, then you get the bangs. Some people, anyway. Others seem to get to move through shrouded in distraction.
Yeah, but you can't, that's them. That's their journey. What about your journey? Envious of their journey, it's your journey. Your journey would be to deal with certain issues. The idea is to deal with it, learn the lesson, and move on. They may move on a little faster, but you may be moving a little fast up the road. They get stuck. We all go through the same thing on different levels of our lives. That's why doesn't paying attention to people's journey. Don't get envious. Just bless them. Bless yourself. All the lessons are the same, just in different categories, but basically the same if you think about it. Tear is a tear all around the world. Laughter is laughter all around the world. Sorrow is sorrow all around the planet Earth, the world. Joy is joy all around the universe. It's all the same. Just different levels of the understanding of it. And our charge as humans is to get to the pinnacle, to the top of the mountain, and enjoy the view. Stay in the heights. Whatever it takes, stay in the heights. Use your breath and be in the stillness, and don't be distracted. Stay there and watch what happens. It'll blow your mind. And a lot of us need our minds to be blown. I know I do. And when you blow your mind, what it does is clears your mind of all the human nonsense that we feel we have to hold on to. We do not. It's already done, and done very well and complete. Be content with that. Find a peace and a joy in that moment. Love yourselves.
I'm in such a space of peace and quiet today.
Stay there. Don't come out of that. Stay in that. That's yours. Don't give it away. I didn't ask for it. What are you giving it to me for?
Oh, I just mean I'm happy just to sit here
You're sharing it. Thank you.
In silence.
Mm-hmm.
That in those moments where you really feel peace, there isn't a hunger. So often we have a hunger for more information or more connection or more.
That's expectations.
And when we're in that space of peace,
expectations. Exhale expectations, inhale peace. That's expectations, expecting something to happen, expecting the next question, expecting instead of allowing it to flow. And that's a hard lesson. That's not an easy lesson because our minds have been conditioned to expect. And when allowing comes through, we get surprised. We go, oh, wow, I didn't know that was there. How did that happen? You got yourself out of the way. Got yourself out of the way and allowing it to be. When you sit in that space, all that you want, seek ye my face, and I will give you my kingdom. And what is my kingdom? All and all that you desire is met. We used to sing a song in church called "It May Not Come When You Want It, but He's Right on Time," or "It's Right on Time." That peace, that joy, you may be expecting it and it looks like it's never coming, but when you let go of expectations, guess who shows up? You go, wow, how did that happen? When did that happen? Whoa. Just waiting for you to let go. Hmm. Yeah. On the breath is such a beautiful thing. I see people sometimes. You want to know what God is? Okay. Place your hand over your nose and your mouth and hold it there for a half hour.
Don't try that if you're driving.
You know where God is? Okay. Gotta search for God, gotta search for God. Try breathing. Breath. Breath has no name, but we call it breath. It's the essence of life. Is it not? Without breath, we have no life. When we stop breathing, spirit is gone. So what is breath? Think about it.
It's there.
Talk about that.
It's there in the ancient languages, just not in English, but in Sanskrit, prana, the breath, and prana is the life force, and it's the same.
And God breathed into man and woman the breath of life. The breath is all that we need to embrace, honor, and get more of. And we can breathe deep, then let it go. When you fill up, it fills you up with the peace. Because when you exhale expectations, peace comes. That's why that exhaling is so beautiful. You really relax. Oh, God, I've been carrying stuff so long. Oh, man. Inhale. The peace is gathering. All the expectations are going to expectations. Then you exhale. Oh, man. That felt good. Whew. What do we call that? Breath. And where does breath come from? Now scientists say, well, it's part of the human mechanism. Okay, then invent it. God is as close as hand and feet, as close as your breath. Honor it. And then realize we all, every race, every nationality, every person, everyone has the same breath DNA. It's called life. We're all the same. All of us are one spiritual being, one human being. Different colors of the rainbow, different shades, different hues of a beautiful bouquet of flowers that we all are, individualized, but come from the same soil, which gave us growth and gave us life. Gave us life. And we're here as a beautiful bouquet, taking in the sun, breathing in this air. And when it's time to go out, and the flower will wilt and fade and die. Death. They call it death, they call it celebration. But a beautiful journey that you've had. Our loved ones die, and we watch our loved ones, you're watching your mother go through her. And it's sad that she's going through that for us humans. It's sad. But that was her choice of her spirit to experience that. And when she's done, she'll go, spirit God. But that wonderful life, look at you. You are a result of her. So just celebrate her. We thank her. Thank your Father for that DNA coming together and pushing forth you into this planet. So you and I can be sitting here talking, we praise her life, we celebrate her life. Our humanists will miss her touch, but our spirit will be with us always and embracing you and carrying you through all things. She could be with you, my child, my ex-wife who passed away, my family, my home, my heritage, my lineage. They're all with me on a daily basis, carrying me through times when I feel like I can't get through it. They remind me, I got you. Okay, Mark. This too will pass. My humanness. Hear this. This too will pass. Breathe. Just breathe. I know. It seems tough. I know, see, the world's coming at you. I know that you got bills, you got this, that, and I'm like, you're going to pay your bills. And breathe. It's already done. It's taken care of. Breathe. Breathe. Inhale. Peace. In those moments and times of confusion and horrible things, have you breathe. And let the God within you take care of it. Trust that. You talk about it, you pray to it, you build synagogues and mosques, temples and things, statues and crosses, and put this man up on a cross, my God. You built all these things to say there's something greater than myself. You have groups of AA and all these things. There's something greater than myself. Then believe it and let it be. And let it carry us through to peace, to completeness, to abundance. If you seek me, you will find me, and I will give you my kingdom. And what is my kingdom? All that you want. The universe is yours. That was my promise. At least that's what Moses wrote.
Well, the problem is we misunderstood abundance.
Oh, yes.
And we thought it meant
in our
cars and three houses and this and that.
In our definition of abundance. And abundance is not about our definition of abundance of cars and houses and things like that. Most of us get it, and we hoard it. We hoard it. This show, TV show of hoarders. You know, I watch they hoard everything. They hoard everything. That's what greed is like. They hoard everything. You can't take it with you. There's a wonderful song that says, life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't take it serious. Life's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so. But you can't take the dough when you go. It's true. You can't take it with you. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
Enjoy your life.
And share your riches.
Share it, give it, and receive it.
For me, when we can understand a definition of abundance that is actually the abundant nature of our soul, that is our own soul's radiance, that is everything that we need in order to be us, And where it gets confused is when we try to be like everyone else. That's the culture that we're in. That's the culture of the social media and all of that, and celebrity, and all of it is to try and be something else.
Abundance.
So try and be the same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's aspiring
more of this,
for the same.
More of things.
Things and certain kind of status, and it's like that's abundance in this idea that we've created here on Earth at this time in Western culture. It has like a look, and you know, it's like you need how many pairs of trainers, all of it.
Look at the stars. Look at the stars in the universe. Is that abundance? I will give that to you. How you use it now, it's up to you or your humanness. But they're there, and I will give them to you if you would seek me. And once you seek my face, you will understand the definition of abundance. You will have to define it, because you will be it. You will be abundance. Isn't that a beautiful thing? You will be abundance if you seek my face. And where's my face? Within you. Within you. I look in your eyes, and I see the God within you. And the God within you is looking at the God within me. So therefore, if the God exists, the Allah exists, the Buddha exists, the Krishna exists, the Jain exists. Whatever you need to call that divine energy, it exists. And we're passing through this particular time on that planet Earth. But really, our lives are infinite, because our spirit is everlasting. This is just a moment in human time. And enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying our conversation. I'm enjoying this. Thank you for this opportunity to share. And I hope one of you out there, somebody out there gets it. If one person gets it, then this has not been in vain.
If nothing else, they'll have some good tunes in their heads.
Yes. And they're not ushers either. Usher, that's my godson. But,
well, now they'll have ushers.
Now they have ushers. Yeah. You make me wanna. Yeah. It's so beautiful here. Life is so beautiful. Even man's concept of materialism and building shelters and places for his humanness to dwell, that which life is beyond the concept of what we as humans consider beauty. But we can look at it and behold to say, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to create beauty which comes from you. The invisible, the unseen, and through me is manifest into the seen, so that others can behold how great thou art. But it's not I, but that within me that does the work.
Thank you for saying yes.
Yeah, thank you for asking. And we'll tune in next week.
For the next part of the sermon.
Yes, for the next part of the sermon.
Okay, final question. What is the call to action that you want to leave our friends here listening with?
The call to action is to be yourself. The call to action is to be beyond yourself, your inner self. When I say be yourself, I mean be that which you are within you, who you are, and listen to that inner voice and march to that cadence. Paul said, I put on the full armor of God, meaning that I put on all that God is in order to shield and protect my inner spirit, which is the God within me, and know who you are. My call and my charge to you is be that which you have come to this planet to be, to save this planet before you leave. So the children will look at you as an example of the shining, glowing light which God, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, Elohim, Yahweh, that divine divinity has called you to be. If enough of you stand up and be that, you will see change begin to happen. Maybe not in our lifetime, my lifetime, but your children, our great children, our great, great, great grandchildren will live in a world of peace. Because you person, you lady, you sir, you father, you mother, you brother, you sister stood up and said, I am. I am. I am. I am that which is within me. I am that. I have no definition. I have no name. I have no race. I have nothing but the I am, the God within me. And if enough of us stand up and do that, we'll see change. It will be the change we've been talking about, singing about, building things on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had goosebumps then. Is there also any calls to action that you want to share that are maybe projects or causes that you're connected
they all
to?
They all are out there.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, unless you guys unite. We're all doing the same thing, but ego separates us. Find one that speaks to your heart and unite them together. If we all pull together various causes for homelessness, for hunger, for diabetes, for this and the other, all the problems of the world, if we join together and fought for the same cause, we'd solve the bigger problems for the world. So find one and get busy. But don't get busy by yourself. Get busy with your brothers and sisters. The human become the spirit.
I love that there's a noise on the roof that started just as we sat down.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just realized it's the birds, and they're being drawn to come and sit above our heads.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hope that this helps somebody. I know it's helped me. Talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, and me.
I mean.
How would you like our friends listening to connect with you? Do you have a website or an Instagram or something?
I have. I'm at benvereen.com. I've been I'm not technically savvy. I do have an Instagram at Ben Vereen. I have a Facebook, Ben Vereen. I guess I get on TikTok. I'm guilty of not being that savvy, so I have people do it for me. But every now and then I'll put out a statement or something that I feel passionate about on Instagram and or Facebook, and people know it's me, so they chime in. So you can find me on Instagram, at Ben Vereen, and benvereen.com, vereen.com. That's reach me there. That's Bereen, people, not Bereen. With a B for victory.
Uncle Ben, it has been an absolute delight
Uncle
to spend this time with
Uncle
you.
Ben Vereen. My pleasure. Thank you. Om Swastiastu, as they say here.
Om Swastiastu.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode and it has sparked some inspiration and creativity in you. As always, you can find links to everything we mention in this episode, download our book, and discover so much more over on allthatweare.org. We give space to our guests to share their perspective without debating it or fact-checking, as this approach allows for deep, unedited conversations from the heart. We trust your discernment and wisdom to take what is useful and challenge what isn't in your own understanding. We offer spaces for discussion and integration in our membership community, which we would love for you to join. We don't believe in selling you things you don't need through this podcast, and so it's made possible by you, our beautiful community. If you loved this and would like to connect more deeply with us, please join our membership. you choose what you contribute based on our sliding scale, and you become a patron whose support makes this podcast happen, as well as receiving access to a library of many resources and invitations to nourishing events. Please also hit subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen so others can find us. This podcast is made by an all-female global team. Me, Amisha Gadiali, producer and host, Anna Greta Folderbach, who crafts the words that accompany each episode, and Mary Chan, who edits the sound so skillfully. All That We Are celebrates all that we are already and the untapped potential that lives inside us. It invites the full power of the more than human world, nature, the unseen, our ancestors and our future generations. It reminds us that we never exist in silo, through borders, timelines, or polarity, that in each and every moment, all that we are is here.